What's going on, my brothers and sisters? It is your boy, Carolina David, coming at you again with another video. This is the continuation of From Beginning to End series. Right now, before we even get started in this video, please go to the description box and follow me on TikTok. Help me get to 1,000 followers. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Leave a comment. Ask questions. We can talk. I mean, that's what I want to do anyway. I want us to come together and talk. But we're about to dive into chapter 14, the continuation of Abraham's journey. Let's get into it.
Let's talk with Carolina David. Let's talk with Carolina David. Let's talk with Carolina David. Let's talk with Carolina David.
All right, we're about to go ahead and dive into chapter 14, the continuation of Abraham's journey. Let's get it. Genesis chapter 14, starting at verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Barah, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bala, which is Zoar. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. 12 years they served Chedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. So, in the beginning, right here, name out all of these kings where you got a set of kings on one side and a set of kings on the other side. And one side of the kings rebelled against the lead king. And now we're about to get into what happened from there. Verse 5. And in the 14th year of Chedorlaomer, and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaims in Ashtaroth Karnaim, and the Zuzims in Ham, and the Emims in Shaveh Korathaim. Boy, these got some names on them, man. And the Horites in the Mount Seir unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to in Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in Hazantamar. So right there, Chedorlaomer and the kings that were with him just basically went and annihilated a lot of countries and a lot of people. Verse 8. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bala, the same is Zoar, and they joined the battle with them in the vale of Siddim, which Chedorlaomer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, the king of nations, and Amraphel, the king of Shinar, and Arioch, the king of Elasar, 4 kings with 5. So right there, the kings of Sodom, Gomorrah, and all of them went and joined the battle with Chedorlaomer and all of them. And in total, it was 9 kings there fighting and taking over the land. Verse 10. And the vale of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the king of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and they that remained fled to the mountain. So the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, they fled and fell at that place, while the other kings, they fled to the mountains. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. So the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, they failed there, and the people that they were fighting against, they basically just took the possessions of the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 12. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Y'all done took Abraham's nephew. I'm ready to see what's going to happen next. Verse 13.
And there came one that had escaped, and told Abraham the Hebrew,
For he dwelt in the plain of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with him.
So one of Lot's men had escaped and came straight to Abraham to tell him all the things that had took place. And Abraham was in the land of Mamre, along with the brother of Eshcol and Aner, which were confederate with him. So it was Abraham, Eshcol, and Aner, all of the people. Verse 14. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. So right now, you take family, hey, we coming. But as you can see, back in those days, it's just like today. We have today the Army, we have the Navy, we have Air Force, and so on and so forth, where they're trained soldiers. And if anything go down, we're going to fight. That's the same thing back then. They had trained soldiers for self-defense and everything like that. But now Abraham is about to chase them down because there's about to be a fight for family. Verse 15. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. So right now, Abraham was on some SEAL Team 6 type thing. He went in by night and got them by surprise and smote some of them and continued to chase them up to Hobah. Verse 16. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. He was on some SEAL Team 6 stuff and went and got back all his possession, all Lot's possession, all Lot's women, and his nephew Lot. They call him his brother because he's the son of his brother. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Sodom, and the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. So now the king of Sodom is coming to meet with Abraham. Verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was with the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed them and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which has delivered your enemy into your hand. And he gave them tithes of all. So Abraham had met with the king of Salem, which is Melchizedek, and the high priest of the Most High God. And the priest of the Most High God had blessed Abraham there, and Abraham had gave tithes unto the priest, unto God. So that let you know also that there was tithes beforehand. Like a lot of people like, oh, you go back to I think it was Malachi, and it tells you about tithes. Where actually you see right here in Genesis, it shows you where Abraham had paid tithes. And the king of Sodom said unto Abraham, Give me the persons, and take the goods to yourself. And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth. Now, I want y'all to see something right now. As we can see that Sodom said, like, look, give me the people and you take the goods. But Abraham said, I have lifted up my hand. Let's read it again. I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord. So he lifted up his hand unto the Lord, the Most High God. Like, you see, it's a comma. The Lord, comma. The Most High God, comma. The possessor of heaven and earth. That I will not take from a thread, even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is yours. lest you should say, I have made Abraham rich. So Abraham is just basically telling him, hey, brother, I'm not going to take nothing from me. Everything is yours. Unless you give unto me and say, I will make you rich. So basically saying, unless you bless me for me doing a deed. Verse 24, save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion. So I was wrong. I thought Mamre was a land, but Mamre is a person, which the land where he was, he possessed. But it was actually Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre that was confederate with Abraham. And Abraham had told King of Sodom, like, look, I don't want nothing, I don't need nothing. But the men that was with me, if they want something or whatever, then you take it up with them and let them, y'all decide what y'all gonna do. But anyway, that was the end of chapter 14, the continuation of Abraham's journey. And as we could see, Abraham was a man that was a protector of his family. He was a man that would get down to the nitty gritty to protect his family, because he went after the men that had took Lot and his house and all his goods and slew them to bring back his family, his nephew, and all the possessions. But anyway, tomorrow we're going to be diving into chapter 15, which is basically going to be the continuation of Abraham. So tune in, and I'm going to say good night, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you may be watching. I pray that y'all have a blessed and peaceful night rest, or have a blessed and peaceful day. I love y'all. Peace.